There have been some fight announcements recently. There have been a lot of fight announcements recently, I'll be honest with you guys, and they all seem to be flying under the radar a little bit, but there are some great fights that have been announced recently, and let's go through them all and react to them and give a little opinion on each bout that has been made, starting with from where we left off. An amazing fight, Belal Muhammad versus Lyman Good, has been announced to UFC 249. That UFC 249 card, although it doesn't have a good co-main event, they are making up for things with the rest of the card because that is stacked full of talent. This fight might even end up headlining the prelims. I'm not even joking. That's how stacked the card is. Lyman Good, Belal Muhammad, amazing fight to headline the early prelims. Early prelims, I meant. Headline the early prelims, amazing fight. I love Belal Muhammad on a bit of a streak himself. Lyman Good as well, coming off a huge win and an entertaining fight against Chance Recounter not too long ago. Great win there. Both guys looking to extend their streaks. Who will be the first to lose their streak? That's the real question here. Which one of them's going to drop? There can only be one, as it always is in the UFC. There's two guys that have a disagreement here. One of them thinks they're going to make it to the rankings, and one of them is severely wrong. And I have no idea who it's going to be. I think it might be Lyman Good. He's terrifyingly strong. Like, terrifying. And Belal Muhammad's very good, but he has had some cardio issues. And he does have some annoying losses on his record that I can't quite explain. So I'm looking forward to... Actually, I'm going with Belal Muhammad. His Instagram's really funny. Moving on to another fight that's been announced recently. Duda Santana versus... Holy shit. Duda Santana versus Sarah Alpa. Duda Santana looks exactly like Israel Adesanya. Look up Duda Santana on fucking Google right now. Duda, D-U-D-A, Santana as it's fucking spelt. On Google Images, it's literally Adesanya with tits. Okay, I'm gonna somehow have to move on from this. That is the weirdest thing. Anyway, yeah, she wins because Adesanya's good. I don't know. Moving on. That's weird, man. They are so alike. That is really weird. Anyway, moving on. Douglas Silva de Andrade is now out of his fight with Movsar Evloev, and now Jamal Emmers will enter the fight on short notice from Contender Series. I'm looking forward to it. This is the thing about Contender Series, guys. Even if you don't get accepted, Dana knows you're in shape. Dana knows you're coming off a win. Dana knows your name and has heard it recently. And he may have a spot for you if some guys fall out. That's exactly what Contender Series guys are good for. I think Movsar's got this. Like, I don't see a guy beating Movsar. I didn't even see Silva de Andrade beating Movsar, and Silva de Andrade is an absolute monster, so yeah, I'm still picking Movsar. I know we just had a problem with Alex Morono losing to Chaos. All I remember is Chaos. I don't even need to know his fucking surname, I'll be honest with you guys. That Chaos guy came in on short notice, beat the guy on the streak in the division, in Alex Morono. Will the same thing happen to Movsar Evloev? I don't think it will. I think Movsar's got this one in the bag, I'll be honest with you guys. He's a beast. He's just a monster. Russian monster, okay? Look at that fucking hairline. He's a monster. Movsar Evloev's going to get the win. Again, that kind of got that fight degraded to the early prelims there on UFC 248, which is unfortunate for them, but oh well. Still a good fight for the early prelims. Movsar's a beast, and we'll see if this guy can pull off an upset, in which case he's going to take a whole load of steam. Gedalia versus Rodriguez. Marina Rodriguez coming off a draw to Cynthia Calvillo, which is cool, I guess. By the way, Cynthia Calvillo is the co-main event to an event coming up with Antonina Shevchenko. I don't know how she keeps getting these rewards for missing weight every single time, but either way, Rodriguez is fighting Claudia Gadelha. Great fight. I'm not really too fussed about it. It adds to the UFC Oklahoma City card. Good. We need some fights on that card. May 2nd. We're filling up every single fucking weekend. So these cards aren't going to be the best. But I love seeing names added to cards that I have no idea about, because it shows us that the UFC is being active this year. There's not going to be these massive 3-week hiatuses of me having to make up content the entire week. I'm never going to have to experience that trauma and pain to my subscriber growth ever again. Claudia Gadelha versus Marina Rodriguez. There you go. They got Gadelha another fight, and it's a ranked opponent. What more could you ask for? Moving on. Rafael Pessoa is out of his fight versus Tom Aspinall, and Jake Collier is stepping in. Jake Collier is not a heavyweight, and is nowhere, if he is a heavyweight, he's nowhere near as big as Tom Aspinall. I'll be honest with you. Taking it on short notice, better for Tom Aspinall. Tom Aspinall's got a big spot here to make a big statement at UFC London. Show himself from Team Calbon, a training partner of Darren Till, make a big statement in the heavyweight division. Things just got a little bit easier, but he just needs to stay focused and still imagine that he's beaten a legit guy, even though this guy isn't the best in the world. We'll see what happens. I think Tom Aspinall's got it, man. I thought Tom Aspinall was going to beat Rafael Pessoa. He's literally a giant Darren Till. That's all he is. He's literally an inflated Darren Till. So, what are these lookalikes right now? Tom Aspinall looks exactly like Darren Till. Oh my god, he looks exactly like Mark Goddard. Look up Tom Aspinall, please. He looks exactly like Mark Goddard and Darren Till fucked each other and this just fell out of one of their assholes. Moving down, Duda Santana looks exactly like Israel Adesanya. I can't wait to see what's next. Who we got next? Mahmoud Muradov versus Carl Roberson. A great fight for UFC 249. This one's got to be on the fucking prelims, I'm sure. Great fight in the middleweight division. I'm kind of upset that they're making it because they're both streaking contenders that could have a successful career. They don't have to lose to each other right now. However, I'm glad that they're doing it because it's fun. I love this. We're doing it in every division. We're just killing off talent, but it's kind of fun because it's like only one can survive and you still get the loser that can linger around and maybe generate some more hype down the line, but it just propels the guy. No one likes to see streaking contenders fighting absolute cans coming off losses. We want to see the best versus the best, and that's what the UFC's given us. Mahmoud Muradov versus Carl Roberson. The winner is going to be one fight away from getting a ranked shot, I'm sure. Whoever wins this is one fight away from getting ranked. No matter who they face. 100%. They're beasts, and middleweight needs beasts. We've got Marvin Vettori, Darren Stewart coming up. Very similar situation to these two guys. We've got this one coming up now. I feel like Mahmoud's going to win, but I worry because Carl Roberson's very fucking good. He's very good, but Carl Roberson likes to stand and strike. With Mahmoud, that's an issue for me. I can't. That's an issue for me when you're talking Mahmoud Muradov. His stand-up is fucking crispiness. Okay? Very crispiness. I like every single second of it. But Carl Roberson has every ability to stop it. I like Carl Roberson as well. I picked him in his last fight for the upset. He got that one done as well. Fought through losing one eye. It's basically like a fighting Daniel Cormier simulator for him over in Russia. Loses his eyesight in one eye and still battles on and wins. He's a beast. Both of these guys are beasts. I'm still going with Mahmoud Muradov. I bet for him every single fight he's had. He's a monster. I'm sticking on the hype train. Moving forward. Niko Price versus Muslim Salikhov. Holy shit, this fight is good, man. Holy shit, these fights are good. I'm so glad I'm doing this reaction video. Price versus Salikhov. Wow. Didn't know they were going to do this. And I knew this was announced, but it's really setting in for me now. I'm really understanding this. I thought there were way more fun matchups for Niko Price, but they've gone with a monster in Muslim Salikhov, added it to UFC Portland, which is the card with Alistair Overeem versus Walt Harris, and Vicente Luque versus Randy Brown, and Carla Esparza versus Michelle Waterson, and Dontel Mays versus some other guy. You don't need to know the entire card. I don't know why I'm listing the entire card for you here, but Niko Price, Muslim Salikhov, great addition to the main card. That UFC Portland card is looking raunchy right now. I love the cards. I'm so hoping that none of these just fall out because Muslim Salikhov's on a streak right now himself, coming off a big win over Laureano Staropoli, I believe. And then before that, he beat Mustache guy that had a war in The Ultimate Fighter. Fuck, man, he looks so Italian. I have to pick my nose and I'm trying to style it out with some moves. Give me a second. What's that guy's name, man? The guy with the mustache that Salikhov KO'd. UFC 240. Nordine Taleb. Fuck, man. I had that shit. I knew it, man. Nordine Taleb. I knew it. I don't need to go deep here, but the brain is so fucking weird, you know. I literally just wandered round my memory of this face that I knew and went back to The Ultimate Fighter in Australia before I knew his name. Price versus Salikhov. Okay, here we go. I think Salikhov's fight with Laureano Staropoli is a very good fighter, and I think it showed in a Salikhov fight because he looked good against Salikhov. Salikhov won the fight, don't get me wrong, he won it quite clearly. I think it was 2-1, but they were competitive rounds. Staropoli had his moments. I like Staropoli, and I don't really rate a win over Nordine Taleb because everyone seems to be doing it. So, don't mind Niko. I love Niko Price's chances here. I really do. I've seen enough Dagestani monsters, like a Zalim Imadiev as well, got KO'd by Danny Roberts. I just feel like Niko Price is just in a different mindset right now, okay? I don't know what I'm thinking. I just think the autism of Niko Price is going to be enough to throw off the technical perfectness of Muslim Salikhov. He likes things to be in order. He likes things to be traditional. That's how he's trained. He's very orthodox, okay? He throws shots very perfectly and strategically and technically. By the book, Dwayne Ludwig would be proud if he watched Muslim Salikhov. But Niko Price has autism. And it's in such a load that it's difficult to deal with at times because he just comes at you with anything. Like, he'll throw winging haymakers while taking a step back, like OSB did to Shogun Rua. If you remember that KO, that's what Niko Price did to Tim Means. He is the weirdest. He's built the weirdest way whatever. He catches you with shots that you don't ever expect to come. Look at his fucking arms, man. He's weird. He's just weird and an enigma. And I mean, listen, him versus Jeff Neal. Considering what Jeff Neal's gone on to do and has done to everyone else in his career, Niko Price ain't looking so bad. There was a moment in that fight where they both dropped, you know? Niko Price was doing decently before that. He was getting beaten, but he was giving some shots back. Jeff Neal's a monster. Niko Price was doing real fucking good, and on a different night, who knows who gets up first? Jeff Neal got up first from the double KO. Came back up, came to, and got on top of Niko Price. Imagine if it was the other way around. Who knows? That's some Mitrione Bader type shit, you know what I'm saying? Jesus. I'm going with Niko Price. Team fucking autism. Let's go, Niko. Do it for the autists all around the world. Salam alaikum. Not salam alaikum. Just keep on trucking on. I'm with you. Roosevelt Roberts versus Matt Fovola. Let's just move on. Roosevelt Roberts versus Matt Fovola added to UFC Lincoln, Nebraska. Amazing fight for Lincoln, Nebraska. Still am waiting for the Kamaru Usman announcement on that card. He needs to be there at UFC Lincoln, Nebraska. I don't know why he's not. It makes no sense from a business point of view. It's literally his hometown, his home city. His origin of existence goes back deep in the roots of Lincoln, Nebraska. But either way, we're moving on. No Kamaru Usman. Roosevelt Roberts, Matt Fovola. Great. Matt Fovola coming off some good wins. A controversial win over Luis Pena, but still. I didn't mind that decision. Look, I've watched that fight recently. Go back and watch that fight recently. I don't mind that fight's decision. I really don't. Matt Fovola, I think, could win that one. If you go back and watch it, I know Luis Pena at the moment, in the moment, looked like he won that fight when it was live. I beg you, go back and watch it. It could go either way. It was a lot closer than I remember it being. So, I like Matt Fovola here. I think he'll win. But Roosevelt Roberts is young, and he's improving every time, and he's still beating decent guys in the UFC with decent records. I just feel he's a little bit too feeble. You know what I'm saying, man? It's a weird word to use, but he looks feeble. You know, he has like an old man body, you know? I don't know what it is about him. He doesn't have an old man body. He's very in shape and shit, but it's just... I don't know, he just looks small to me, okay? He doesn't have long reach. I feel like he's going to get cracked. He shows a lot of holes in his striking at times that some of these other guys that he's been facing haven't been able to expose. I think Matt Fovola and Luis Pena are the kind of guys that could expose that in him. I feel like Matt Fovola... Fuck, man. I think, in fact, Matt Fovola gets it done. Matt the Steamroller Fovola. I think he gets it done. And I think he gets it done by finish as well. KO. And I think it's a great fight. That's an amazing fight to add to a card. Moving on. We're not done there. The best fight of them all. Fabricio Werdum. I don't know why I pronounce that's not even Brazilian accent. Versus Alexei Oleynik. Announced for UFC 250 Sao Paulo. I'm telling you guys, even if Cejudo Aldo is the main event, this card can be so stacked. This UFC 250 card can be amazing if you listen to my words very closely. Very closely. You've got Werdum versus Oleinik that's been announced. You've got Blagoy Ivanov versus Augusto Sakai. Those are two main card fights. Then what I want you to fucking do, and listen to me very closely. Very closely you have to listen to me with what you do with the rest of the card. Werdum versus Oleinik. Amazing. I'm still trying to think. Sakai versus Blagoy Ivanov. Amazing on the main card. We need two more fights. And one of those fights is going to be Dominic Reyes versus Thiago Santos. And that's going to be the co-main event bout. I know Dominic Reyes is injured, but get fucking back in there. Beat the guy that went to a split decision with John Jones, who's coming off an injury. If that fight can happen, please can we make it fucking happen. Cejudo versus Aldo is the main event. We don't want Nunes on there because we don't have a clear-cut contender for her right now, and we don't want to waste her like we've done with Henry Cejudo already, because that would be an embarrassment of a card. Imagine Amanda Nunes versus Irene Aldana. Sounds quite fun, but come on. You got to earn title shots. We ain't scraping the bottom of the barrel for people, okay? If they want to be called the GOAT, Amanda Nunes, you got to beat some prepared specimens of fighters. So we've got Santos versus Reyes as the co-main event to Cejudo versus Aldo. Then we've got Fabricio Werdum versus Alexei Oleynik as the feature fight on the card. Opening up the main card with Augusto Sakai and Blagojevinov. And then the other fight on the card, Marlon Moraes versus Aljamain Sterling 2. Done! Main card done. I'm not buying because I don't... Whatever. I buy stuff legally. We do everything legally here on the MMA Guru channel. I'm watching it. I'm watching this card. If that's the case, I'm watching this fucking card. And that's the kind of card that doesn't need a championship all over it. We don't need to cram 2 title fights in there for no reason. That can compete with Bellator 243. Even though Bellator 243 is amazing, we need to have a banger of a card in Brazil if we're going to compete whatsoever with Bellator 243. Because I'm Team UFC, you guys know this. But Bellator 243's got a stacked card. Douglas Lima versus Gegard Mousasi. Ryan Bader versus Vadim Nemkov. They might be getting Michael Venom Page versus Lorenz Larkin on the same fucking card. I'm telling you, it's going to be a fun one. I think Bellator might actually outdo the UFC. But either way, they've announced some good fights. I'm tired as fuck, man. I'm done, finally. Oh, fucking Jesus Christ. I literally barely made it through that fucking video. But fun fights. Good stuff. Real fun fights, though. Amazing. I love it. Like and subscribe. Thank you for watching. Click that button there. Good fucking... I'm swearing way too much here. I don't know why. I swore a lot that video. Fuck you. Goodbye, you cunts.